Of our Claire, you can unmute yourself, but welcome. We're going to get started with our virtual boozy brunch. So take it away, Claire Paparazzo.
Welcome, everyone. This is our virtual boozy brunch, season 2. Our episode today is a spotlight of Wine If You Want To, production company. It's my production company. And we are featuring a documentary called I Am a Guardian. So I do have a question. What do you feel that you need to be a guardian over these days? Go ahead and answer in the chats. We're going to go ahead and see the inspiration here. I am a guardian. Today I'm a guardian over virtual boozy brunch for Belinda. She's with us in spirit. So thank you, Belinda. I'm excited to announce the debut of our partnership with Wine Access. So Wine Access has curated boxes and we're tasting on Virtual Boozy Brunch 2 wines a week. So these boxes, you can purchase them through Belinda's Brunch or Anytime Boutique. And here is such a bonus. We get to taste them live and tell you what we think. So this is a fabulous way. If you haven't done some Christmas shopping, go ahead and sign on to Belinda's Brunch and Anytime Boutique. All right. Very exciting, more shopping ahead. We have belindachang.com. Our shop page has been updated. So I do a lot of online shopping. This is a page I keep looking at because there's so many fun things that you can purchase. So this is always great. Make sure you're checking in and having a beautiful accompaniment to your virtual boozy brunch. All right. We've made it through the holidays. We've had some exciting times here. Oh. So I'm going to go ahead and ask everyone, open your chat box on the bottom. Now is the time we're going to spotlight some people and we're going to see what people feel like they are a guardian over. I know Janine, my friend from England, we're going to spotlight maybe, and Daniela. Hi, Daniela. Daniela, tell me, what are some things? Oh, she said nature. What are some things that you feel like you are a guardian over during this holiday time?
I'm a guardian of my own heart. It is my responsibility to make sure that I am happy and that I create a safe space for myself, because if I'm not protected, I'm not happy, I can't do the same for other people.
Very true. That's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Daniela. Janine and Penelope.
2 things. One, this little one, guardian of her, contentment and joy and also time during this holiday season, just really using it in a way that feels lengthy and sacred and restful and replenishing,
Yes.
And I think it's really important to sort of have a different commitment to it, especially when we can, when work is slowed down or we're taking a little bit of break. And that means naps when you want to, lying in a little bit. All this is really important. And did you want to add your bit that you wanted me to write in there that you'd be a guardian over? Nature.
Nature.
Yeah, she loves being out on long walks and being in the countryside here. So
love that. So nice to see you. Karen, you're up next.
Hi. Well,
Hi.
I have for the past 3 weeks, I've been the guardian of my 91-year-old mother when we broke her out of her assisted living and moved her in with me so we could avoid COVID. So it's been going well, but that's been my big guardianship job right now.
That's beautiful that you can be together safely. So nice to have time together. Thank you for sharing.
Yep.
Oh, so beautiful. So I think it's my moment now to say, when Belinda Chang told me that this episode was going to be all about my production company, Wine If You Want To, and my documentary film called Guardian, I just thought, this is what I've wished for, not just this year, for the past 10 years. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be able to share with you just a little bit about what I've been doing and the amazing people in my life. My focus today is about the energy coming from nature. Penelope, you were on to something. Despite all the stay-at-home orders, we just have to be vigilant, okay? I can't really go down the road of how I'm emotionally feeling about all this time and staying inside. All I have to say is be vigilant, don't let your guard down, and hydrate. I love you all. All right. Recapping a fabulous episode called Sparkle. This was last week. You can also find it on YouTube for Virtual Boozy Brunch if you missed it and want to see what we were sparkling about. Rita Jamais, La Caravel Champagne, Casa Dragones, and a fabulous cocktail from Jim Meehan, formerly of PDT, Please Don't Tell, in New York. So many exciting things. I decided to bring La Caravel Champagne into the mix for this week as well. And now, episode 38. I get to introduce to you Francois Blanchard, La Grande Claret, Wide-Eyed Production. We're going to get into it soon. So excited. This is also the production team. Francois Blanchard is the winemaker. Then I have Molly Barris. She is my editor. And Lucy in French is everything design. Thank you, everyone. Today, we're going to cook. We're going to stir, not necessarily shake. I have an Odavi cocktail, Pear Odavi, inspired by my time in France. We're going to show you the trailer of I Am a Guardian for the first time on social media. And we're going to cook some beautiful chanterelle mushrooms and a little video clip of foraging mushrooms in the Loire Valley. So fun. So excited everyone's here today. All right. Wine access. Our tasting this week, Caves Velas. This is from Portugal, and Ferraton Coteron. So, is it our time to taste?
You might be getting a little thirsty, Claire. I think it's time to taste some wine to just kick off this brunch.
So let's do it. Getting overheated in my New York City apartment, but that's okay. The first wine is Cabeca de Tojo. So this is a Syrah Castellao, and this is Touriga Nacional. Can you see it? My virtual space. Touriga Nacional, one of the grapes that you find in port. So we are in Portugal. We are in Tejo. This is a short drive from Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. I've had the pleasure of traveling to Portugal, and I gotta tell you, such beautiful landscape, beautiful people, and amazing wine. If you are someone in New York, you may know Bruno Almeida, a friend of mine who is Portuguese. He is a wine, I would say, maybe the king of Portuguese wine, if I can be so bold. And through his inspiration, I found myself in Portugal. So this beautiful wine is a Reserva. It spends about 9 months in French oak. What that's going to do is give you some beautiful baking spice aromas. There's dark fruit. I feel like this is such a treat because it's a limited release. So when you see something like this, especially in the Somm world, it's something exciting that we can share with guests that maybe you're not going to see all the time. Putting my nose in the glass, you get this beautiful kind of cocoa powder, a little vanilla, dark fruit, and on the palate, it is rich and velvety, very lush because of that oak addition. Nice acidity, and what I will say is this is very versatile. I would have it with some roast stew, roast meats, the kind of wine you want to have on a cold day, but it's not super tannic. It's very fresh. So that's the kind of beautiful balance that we're getting right here in this wine. Something's falling in my apartment. Okay, coming back to you. The next wine we have is the Ferraton. So this is a Coteron, Ferraton Coteron. Nowhere on this bottle do you see the name Michel Chapoutier, but the cool thing about these kind of inside peaks on these wines is that You get to learn a little bit about the history here. And Michel Chapoutier consulted with the winery in 1998 and helped convert them to biodynamic farming. So something very on theme of our talk today, because we are going to be talking to Francois Blanchard, who's a biodynamic winemaker. So it all will connect. So mostly we have Grenache. Grenache is a grape that on its own can be subtle and light with a lot of bright fruit. And here we're blending it with a little Syrah. So you do have some nice texture to it. I will say on the nose, a little Garrigue, if you will, a little French countryside, again, kind of keeping it back to our theme. There's a little Sanso to finish it out. And what they're doing here, long maceration, think of like tea bags in your water. The maceration is how you're extracting the flavor. So a long maceration here, they're de-stemming, kind of removing some of that gritty tannin. And when they're vinifying the wine, it doesn't see any oak here. You're doing a little concrete, a little stainless steel. It maintains the freshness. And for me, this is a great bottle you can decant, kind of let it see where it goes. Again, beautiful value, all the beautiful history that you're going to find here. One other thing I just want to let you know, I never opened this bottle because I did get the Corvin system for Christmas. This is going to make wine access fun for much longer than the month of December, for me at least. You get to have a little taste here and there. You don't have to commit to the whole bottle. It's just, I'm like a kid in a candy store. Wine access, keeping it for the long haul. All right, I think it's about that time.
I think I should play a little bit of music so everyone can make sure to get their glass and something in their glass. Don't you think?
I agree. So right now is a moment where we're going to do a little Odavi cocktail in honor of Francois Blanchard. All right. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Francois Blanchard. Thank you so much for joining us from France, Francois. Here we are going to stir a cocktail, an Odavi cocktail based on the time that I had with you in France. Excuse me 1 second. All right. Sorry. There's so many spaces and so many computers that I'm hearing feedback. Hey, Francois.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here like a guardian.
Yeah, like a guardian.
And Lucy, hi. Thank you for being on standby in case we have any translation issues, but I think we're all gonna just be here in this fun space together. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not too drunk to translate yet, so it's okay.
Keep going. That's a perfect segue into our cocktail segment. So I recall in 2010, Lucy, when we were there doing harvest, there was a lunch we had, and then we had a little of Francois' Odavi he was making Odavi from fruit from the property. And so that is kind of the inspiration for this cocktail. So it's pretty simple. You want to get a glass, a champagne flute or a wine glass. And what we're going to do is, first step, a little bitters. If you have bitters, just a little dash into the glass. And then empty that out. So you're just kind of coating the glass lightly. Then we're going to do 1 ounce of the Pear Odavi. I purchased Trimbach from Alsace because Trimbach is they are friends. They will be doing some virtual boozy brunch in a few segments. So tying it in, supporting people we love. 1 ounce of Pear Odavi into your glass. Okay, 1 ounce of Florida Cognac, 12-year rum. If you don't have rum, you can switch this out with an ounce of whiskey. Really just kind of, in these times when we're not able to go to the store so often, you can kind of just make cocktails on a whim. There's no rules. I'm not going to tell Jim Meehan. Okay, so 1 ounce into your glass. There's no real shaking or stirring at this point. There's a garnish. Hold up your Karen. Oh wait, who had the garnish? Did you have the garnish? There's a gold pear. We should be highlighting that, someone in the audience. But I will say, in honor of the fruit, here it is, Liz. Oh my gosh, Liz, show us what you got. It's so cool. Okay, so she's doing hers. We're gonna top off with a little champagne. I'm using La Caravel. And I'm gonna pour maybe 2 ounces. 1.5, 2 ounces. And voila, this is what you get. The Pear Odavi cocktail, inspired by Francois Blanchard. And tell us, Francois, how do you make your Odavi? And what kind of fruit do you have on your property? Ooh. Francois, he's drinking.
No, I listen.
Oh, no, my question is for you. So when you make on the property, do you make pear brandy or pear Odavi?
Not a lot, because it's an alcohol we don't use a lot now in France. In the past, all the generation drink a lot this, but now not a lot. So les prunes.
Prune, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's the best.
So prune pear.
It's the same with poire.
Yeah, this is pear, poire.
Yeah.
That's what I have here. So you can translate in any language. Pear is poire. But this is something to remind me of the time that we had together in 2010. I will say, when you are visiting with Francois, and I highly recommend everyone should, it's all about natural wine, because when you wake up in the morning, you don't feel heavy, right, Francois? It's all about nature.
Yeah. Always,
So
when we drink natural wine without sulfites, the day after is normal.
it's no problem, right?
May I ask a question, Claire? How
Absolutely.
did the two of you meet, and what was the inspiration for doing this documentary of yours and drinking together? How did it start?
Well, Francois, shall I? Okay, so
After you.
I went to a natural wine conference in Normandy, France in 2008, I believe. And Francois was selling his wine there. So when you're at these large tastings and you taste all these people's wine, certain wines speak to you, right? And so I recall I kept going back to the table being like, I know you're busy. Can I get a sip more? It's really about the energy that I felt in the wine and the purity. And it kept me thinking, plus Francois was so generous with his time and genuine, telling me about the artist on the labels and things like this. And I soon realized, like I said earlier, these are my people. So that's where we first met. And then I was able to get his wine imported where I was working at the time to Blue Hill. So half a pallet of wine, 25 cases through David Bowler. Remember that, Francois? And then we had this amazing wine dinner, and Francois came from France and stood in a room full of people and told us about his medicinal practices and winemaking and how he lives off the land in this beautiful way. And it was then after that I realized, as soon as I could save up enough time on my vacation or vacation time to go to France, that was what what I was going to do harvest. And that is where I met Lucy and Richard as well. So this is how it kind of all started in 2008, then 2010. And when you meet people and when you share these amazing experiences, maybe just coming from a city girl, it really means a lot as far as the influence it has on your life. So that's why this is important today. It's having a vision, meeting people that inspire you, and wanting to tell the story.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So many fun times, right? Okay, so you're not making Odavi, but you are making wine and you are making beer.
Yeah.
Right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Because at the moment, I just use plant for help my vineyard. And in 2007 and 2008, the climate was very, very hard. And with the plant, it was very difficult to arrive to stop the hill. So in 2008, I arrived to have no grape. So always I'm positive, and I said, okay, no grape. It's the nature, because normally there is a cycle. You have the year for the fruit and year no fruit. It's always like this, but the system, the economic system now won't always have good production all the year, but it's not the nature. If you want this, you need to use a lot of chemical product, or yes, it's not good. So in 2008, I accept no grape. And I understand it's difficult in my place. No use copper.
Copper,
Voilà.
yeah.
So I said, okay, I have a barrel, I have a tank, so I have earth, so maybe it's possible to make beer. And
Hops. You have
but
hops
the problem,
naturally growing, right?
what?
The hops, which are
Yeah, and the problem. Sorry.
the
Again,
hops.
sorry.
Hops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hops.
there are some hops in the vineyard.
And
There's
we,
not a great deal,
yes.
but there are some. Yes.
And the problem in my idea, I said, okay, I make beer, but for arrive to make the beer like you want, a long time. It's always the same. So it's a construction with the time. And for me, I think it's important to make a human system for conserve the freedom.
Very, very powerful. Thank you, Francois. So I'm just going to take this moment to introduce Wide-Eyed Collective. This is fabulous because these are two people that I met during this amazing time, Lucy, Carolyn, and Richard Glynn. And you're joining us from England. You travel by motorcycle, wearing leather. You're just amazing human beings. And I've always thought if there's a way that I can show the world what you're doing, because again, when you meet people that inspire you, I feel like it was my chance to be a guardian over getting the information out. So this is such an exciting moment that I get to introduce my friends from across the pond. Tell us a little bit about your time with Francois. Tell us about, I know there's a book. I want you to just plug it. Tell us who you are and why I think you're so amazing.
Okay, shall I do this, Lucy? Do you want to butt in when I get it wrong?
Shall I start it off and then
Go
I'll
on
hand
then. Yeah.
to you? Okay, so I've known Francois for a very long time, but when I first met him, he wasn't a winemaker; he was a musician. And but it was in 2005 I took Richard to meet Francois and Karine for the first time, and I'm actually drinking the wine from 2005. That was the first wine that we ever helped Francois to make. And then I'll hand over to Richard, who can explain what happened after that.
Yeah, I think one thing I think is really well worth explaining is that the manner in which Francois produces wine, it's a party. He has people come from around many countries to come and actually take part in the harvest, to pick the grapes, to enjoy each other's company, to make wine. I mean, that's what it is. We have a party, we make wine, which is a beautiful experience. I think there are comments about descriptions of wine and how wine itself carries a life, it carries memories. We're part of those memories, certainly of this wine. That's got my feet in it somewhere, I think. Yeah, that's had my feet in it. It's a very human experience. It's a very involving experience to take part in. So yeah, 2005 became involved. I took Lucy took me across. I took an exhibition of some photography I'd done on a small holding, an organic small holding in the northeast of England, and displayed it in. Well, I had to sweep the attic out to display it in, but we had an exhibition there. And since then, we've done a number. We've been back, not as often as we would like, but as often as we've been able to make more wine. And we've taken other stuff back and we've done other exhibitions in there. The one you saw, Claire, you were there for. We did 2 residencies there, which to try and document some of the things that were happening. They ended up as various exhibitions. Yeah, I'm doing a rubbish job of this, aren't I, really? Are you going to butt in and tell me I'm doing a rubbish job?
I think the question about the guardianship is really interesting. And there's a film called Sideways that we are aware of. And there's a really nice scene in it where one of the characters is talking about the life of wine and having the wine and trying to imagine what the weather was like when the grapes were growing and who the people were that made the wine that she is tasting. And I think that both me and Richard and you, Claire, with your documentary, are kind of in charge of helping to feed people's imaginations, so we can actually show what it was like. We can show the people who made the wine, and we can show what the weather was like, and we can show how natural and it is, because there are ladybirds in the grapes, and I think I'm really excited to see your documentary. Actually, I think that the moving image will bring the past to life in a way that maybe the photos don't. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
I think you all are doing a beautiful job of explaining this, Richard. It's not rubbish at all, as you say, as the British say. You did beautiful. I can feel the energy coming to life. And my question is, if I can ask Claire, is how many people does it take to make a successful harvest? How many people are typically there, Francois? And when can I sign up for the next one?
Yes.
all the year, generally, there is 100 different people come.
Wow.
But it's an association for transmission and for exchange tous les savoirs, je ne sais pas comment on dit, tous les savoirs, C'est pour transmettre,
I
pour
need
échanger tous les savoirs.
I need Lucy's translation.
All the knowledge.
Ah, all the knowledge.
Yes, because there is people from, for example, winemaker from Australia, photographer of England, Japanese people. There is a cooker. There is a boulanger. You understand boulanger?
Mhm.
People who make bread, or and all the people make together and change the culture
Mhm.
about their land.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So it's yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
So again, just on that theme, a lot of what we're talking about today, even though we may be individual artists, nothing can get accomplished without your team and your crew. And the most important recipe, I believe, Francois, tell me if I'm wrong, is to have good energy around you because it translates.
Yes.
Yes.
Oui.
So we have a few minutes before we start cooking our chanterelle mushroom toast. Richard and Lucy, tell us about this book. I'm so excited and I can't wait to get my hands on it. This is you guys.
Okay. Just a very quick bit. This book was produced by a collective called Wide Eyed. Lucy's no longer a member of Wide Eyed. She's left the collective because she's focusing on a PhD. But this is part of a book involved. It's a work relating to agricultural fairs in the northeast of England, which is a single book, he says, holding it up, which actually, if I can find where I am, there we are, is actually a number of different individual books by individual photographers relating to the tradition in the northeast of England of there's trying to hold it up desperately without putting a background in. Yeah, virtual backgrounds are rubbish. I don't go with them. But yes, it's a book. I think there's a link around. It's a lovely piece of work. It's another example of a piece of work. We do different sorts of work, including the exhibitions that we've done at Francois, which we have done a number of varieties of and shown them in different places. But yes, this is the last bit. It's a book. It's great. Bye.
I think in America the equivalent is state fairs. So in
Okay.
England,
Yes.
so it's kind of about agricultural stuff in the same way that the work with Francois was, but focusing on the kind of agricultural celebrations, if you like.
Fabulous. That's why this is so on theme, and that's why bringing all the amazing people together for this unique discovery together is so exciting. So because we are brunching together safely, now it's time for our cook-along segment. So it's fun because we do have a little video that I'll share with you. This is mushroom toast that I was inspired to create based on my time with Francois and family and foraging with them and hoping that they were choosing the correct mushrooms, not the poisonous mushrooms. And I put myself in their hands, and then we did a little saute, and this is what you end up with. So if you are cooking along, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. I'm gonna go ahead and talk while we start doing this. I have a saute pan that I'm putting on medium heat. And I'm just going to get a little butter and olive oil going, medium to low. So the recipe calls for, let's see, what did I do? 2 tablespoons of butter. Maybe I added more, don't worry. I don't normally even eat butter anymore. I was able to find these amazing chanterelle mushrooms.
There's a video playing, Claire, of you all foraging your mushrooms as well.
There you go. That was it. Foraging mushrooms. Really connecting with nature. These I got at Union Market. So, cut them up. I actually just like to brush them off. And then I like to kind of go like that into your saucepan at this point. Where's my garlic? crushed garlic you're going to throw in at some point. I like to crush it and not dice it because I just want the aroma of the garlic to get into the olive oil and the butter, and then you can remove it. So beautiful mushrooms. This is like, my inspiration is Julia Child, because things have been dropping all around me. You just go forward. This is live TV, if you will. I grew up watching those, I remember, with my parents. And, you know, it taught me a lot about, you just got to wing it sometimes. So beautiful mushrooms. Things are starting to smell heavenly in here. So once I have all the mushrooms in the skillet, it's not going to take too long because you don't want to sog them out. You want them to still have a little texture. I say to cut up thyme, but really whatever you have in your pantry, any fresh herbs or dried herbs, if you don't, would be fabulous. Let's see. We have this going. Down my garlic. I'm going to toss that in. A little spoon action. So I recall that cooking in France. I made like an Italian feast one night and like a meat sauce. And then because Richard is vegetarian, you know, I got to utilize a lot of vegetables. So kind of keeping in the theme. This is fabulous for vegetarians. It can be vegan, just don't put the butter in. And my husband is a vegetarian. So at this point, after the boozy brunch, he can have some toast. So now go ahead and put your toast points in, 350, not for very long. You don't want them to crunch out. You want the beautiful butter and garlic flavors to kind of soak into the bread. At this point, go ahead and add your fresh herbs. It's in. My cat's very at this moment. She smells something good going. I'm gonna salt and pepper at the end just to see if we need it. I recall things when they're coming from the earth, so fresh, like those mushrooms in the video, you don't really need to do much to them. It tastes so sweet. Is that something you normally do, Francois? You guys go foraging mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Actually, we have a lot of a lot of mushroom in the wood, and since maybe 2 weeks we cut a lot. And like you, we have a lot of resets.
Yes. So are you ever nervous about picking the wrong mushrooms?
Picking the
Wrong. Like
oh no, because I just cut the good mushroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no.
They don't let the English pick it, so it's okay, safe.
Okay. Well, we're gonna just saute a little longer.
This smells so good, Claire.
Doesn't it? Some simple ingredients, you know, and I think that's for me. When I told people I was going to France to do harvest, they're like, you're going to gain so much weight because all the French do, it's like rich food. And I kind of had the opposite approach because you're living off the land and everything is so fresh. And that way you don't need to doctor it, right? So it's actually healthier for you. Something that stuck with me as a part of my life to this day from that trip is if you're feeling down, eat a little bit of sunshine. What do I mean? I mean, like butter. A piece of, like vegetable, butter. Like not
just a lot of butter. Andrew just had the best mushrooms on screen. I don't know if anyone caught that. But
Let's see,
Andrew. Oh, brilliant.
Hi. We have a great farmer's market that does wonderful wild mushrooms. So
oh, beautiful.
Liz, my friend, picked them up. So yeah.
Great job, Liz.
All right, I think at this
Can
point,
we see yours? Do you have your other camera on, Claire?
no.
That's
I mean,
okay. Can we see your mushrooms that are cooking? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
So at this point, take out your toast points, French bread from the oven. They're going to be a little bit perfect, a little bit crunchy on top, but not too dried out.
I cheated and used the toaster. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Of course. You control your own destiny, Evie. So I have a beautiful platter. And this is the best, right? Now what I've created is not just a brunch item. It can carry you through to dinner, a little pre-nosh, if you will. You can have it at a cocktail party. I'm gonna plate it up right now so to show you. So any of the drippings from your mushrooms, it's gonna be butter, olive oil, herbs, a little of that garlic flavor. And you wanna get those on your toast points. And it should be something like this. It smells heavenly. Can you see? This is in honor of Francois.
It looks beautiful. Your mushrooms
thank
look
you.
so much nicer than mine.
Claire, do you organize by post the mushroom?
Do I organize what?
By post, the mushroom by post.
I don't know.
Send them by post.
Send them by
Can you
post.
send them? Can you FedEx maybe overnight today?
No, Francois, FedEx me mushrooms from you, from France, and then we'll talk.
No, you need to send your
Okay.
Yeah, I'm making bargains here. Okay,
I think she's just gonna eat them.
I'm gonna eat them later, but what a heavenly scent. It's so wonderful, like I said, when you're just living and working with the earth, what Mother Nature has to offer. And that is a beautiful segue into the next part where I'm going to introduce two people that have helped me greatly on my process. This is Molly Barris. She's my editor for Wine If You Want To is my company. And the documentary that we created together is I Am a Guardian. Lucien French, who has been helping me with everything artistically related. I don't know how, but I just told him things that I was thinking and he's able to visually create. So when I talk about things that of inspiration that you can hold with you for a long time, I do want to say it's not about it's about we. Hi, Molly. I'm so grateful for all of the hard work and time and effort. Working with an editor is a very intimate process. And I oftentimes would kind of go on and on telling Molly what I was trying to convey. And she's able to understand me. So this is a very special collaboration. I'm sure it was, kind of a stressful process, right? Because when someone has a vision and then someone is trying to help you get there, there's a lot that can happen. So I am delighted to introduce this tour de force, Molly Barris. Thank you.
Hi, yeah, I'm happy to be here. I mean, it was so fun to edit this because visually it was just beautiful. Every time I looked at it, I was like, I need to go there. There was a lot of footage. There's hours and hours of footage, but we're still almost finishing it up, and it's been really great to work with Claire, and I really have to go visit there. Francois, I feel like I know you just because I've edited you so much, but we've never actually met.
No, isn't that the cool thing? And Molly, you had told me early on how you were learning so much about wine and about the process that even maybe you didn't have interest, or I don't know, but somehow you go there, right? You go to the place and you see all the things that are happening and you're learning in this way.
Yeah, it feels like such an intimate experience. That's why I love documentaries in general, because even if you're not there, you can sort of get that intimate feeling and just be like, oh my God, this is a whole different world. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Francois, you see her, Molly? She's the woman who made this happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Molly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. You're the star.
You are welcome in France.
I'm gonna have to take you up on that. Yeah, I have to. That looks so beautiful. All the animals too. It's heaven.
It is heaven.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if Lucien is still on or not, but basically you can reach me at clairepaparazzo.com if you ever are looking for an amazing editor that I can recommend, Molly, or any kind of graphics, anything like that. Lucien is in school at SVA. He's freelance and he's fabulous. So get in touch with me if you need help. I want to share these people that I've found because it hasn't been easy. That'll be one day another story. All the things that I went through to get an amazing editor. Such a But one thing I will say for people that are doing documentaries or any kind of filming is back up your footage. I learned the hard way. Back up your footage.
Claire, may I ask a question?
Of course.
And for Molly, that if you said there's hours and hours of footage, how do you know when you're seeing a moment within that footage that's the star moment, or that's something that was really special that you want to capture? How do you decipher that as an editor?
Well, it kind of is just a feeling you get. It stands out when you're watching it again and again. You'll be like, oh my God, this animal looks so beautiful, or he just said something really powerful. I mean, it's something that you have to do. You can't just do it all at once because you're watching like everything in real time, So there's moments when you're like, okay, this is going on for a while. But yeah, you kind of have to start sifting it down one by one. So it's a slow process. And then you kind of have that click. It's like a puzzle piece. And then working with Claire, she has her vision. And just trying to get the essence of what the person is like too,
Well, we can tell that Francois is a rock star, I think is the essence of him. So however you capture that.
There's a lot of good moments to pick from. If anything, there was too many beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, that's great, Christina. I think we have like a couple minutes if anybody wants to ask any questions. Now would be great before we show the trailer. Any questions for myself or Francois, Lucy, Richard, or Molly?
I have a question. How do you get to do a harvest? Like who do you talk to? Do you go directly to the winemaker, or do you just look around?
That's a good question. For me, I was in a position of becoming friends with Francois, and so I went directly to him. But I know, for instance, living in New York, if you wanted to do harvest, you maybe want to go, say, to Long Island, and you would contact one of the winemakers and see if they are accepting anyone to do harvest. Sometimes people will take you and put you up with accommodations. Sometimes you go on your own accord. Rarely, unless it's a big property, will they fly you places to kind of do harvest. But it's one of these things. The main point of why I wanted to go in 2010 was not just to visit Francois. I realized my staff at the time, a lot of them hadn't been to wineries and kind of but they didn't have the opportunity, being a sommelier, to go and walk through and see where the grapes are coming from and then see all of the care from point A to point B. So I was filming on a flip camera. This is how this all happened. A little short educational video for my staff. And I did show everyone this at Blue Hill with my poor editing skills, but I kind of was able to tweak it a little bit and show everyone it was from the ground to the tank. And so it was really an educational tutorial for my staff to kind of bring them there without being able to bring people. So that's how it started, and I talk to a lot of people that do documentaries, and it usually, sometimes it's not something you plan, right? The video footage that I had from the flip camera, I never was imagining that it would end up in the place where it's at right now, in conjunction with the footage that I filmed with my friend Bianca Beauty in 2013. And so bringing a director of photography to Francois' Chateau in 2013 was where we were able to kind of get the main backbone to the documentary and bring it to where it's at. But going back to your question, a lot of times people will let you come and do harvest if they know you. Good intentions is a thing, right? You want people around you that are like-minded, especially if you're very aware of energy, as I was in this amazing place in France. So the town of La Marais, which is very close to Chinon. Am I doing you justice, Francois? And I remember taking a train into Chinon from Paris. and finding my way to this magical countryside that we will show a little bit more about. But I feel like anyone can probably do harvest if you get the training and the trust from the winemaker. Sounds like you're up next to go do harvest.
I've just stuck a message in the chat. If anyone, if anyone is interested in, for example, harvesting with Francois in particular, then they just need to get in touch. He has a website, and a lot of winemakers do.
Thank you. And Candace shared a link to also in the chat. Candace, my friend who's in Croatia. Hi, Candace, with her beautiful babies. Oh my gosh. So Candace and I worked together at Blue Hill. She was around during this whole time. So it's so wonderful. Francois might even remember her, that we can connect everyone together here today. And I will say, if it wasn't for Belinda Chang creating Virtual Boozy Brunch, we would not be able to share this multi-dimensional experience from people all over the world. So again, I just want to share my gratitude for this beautiful space we have. Thank you. Okay, questions, anyone else? Comments? I see Valerie, my sister, joining us from Colorado. Like, this is so special. Thank you everyone for being here. Because we can all admit this has not been a very normal 2020. But this is making me feel so amazing.
Richard,
So,
were you going to add something?
I was just going to add my thanks to reinforce the importance of the message of actually making wine, and to add my thanks to Francois for the opportunity over many years for letting us participate and take place and make wine. It is a fantastic experience. It's been so hard sometimes, and I've learned how to mend wine presses, but it's been fantastic. Thank you.
For me, I think when we are winemaker, we have the opportunity to make wine, just one wine per years. So 20 years, I make wine since 20 years, so maybe 20 times I make wine. So now I appreciate to meet a lot of winemakers from all the world. We have the opportunity to change the practice, and if we listen the other, we arrive to advance more rapidly.
yeah.
But it's very magic to work with the life, with the yeast, the natural yeast, and the good energy of human people.
Fabulous. I think this is
like
such
you, my friend.
a segue, Francois, to show the trailer to everyone. What do you think?
I think this is the perfect time to, and now to be clear, Claire, this has never been shown before. Is that right?
It has been shown one time at a bar.
Okay, well, that takes away from the magical emphasis I was trying to put on.
No,
the
I'm on social media.
But with pleasure, I will go ahead and play it now. Excellent, of course.
All the production, all the singing must be natural. The music, the human contact, all the alimentation, all, not just the wine.
Have you ever met a person that you knew was going to be important in your life?
Would you like a glass of wine?
The difference with Francois being a natural winemaker is his passion. His philosophy is based in something very important to him. And not only is he doing the farming in this way, but his lifestyle is also in this way.
Chin chin.
Chin chin. Santé.
Santé.
If you think about organic farming, you put organic treatment into the ground. And then biodynamic farming is creating a universe where everything goes back into the earth, including yourself. Like, he is committed.
For the lunch. It's not materialist question, it's just sentimental. And I'm here like a guardian.
Wow.
Bravo. Well done, Claire.
Cheers. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? I'm having low power mode here in my small apartment for some reason. So that was the trailer. You know, we don't want to give it all away, but it's kind of a peek into the world that will be presented to you. And it's been such a pleasure getting to this stage. So again, if you have any questions about Francois Blanchard, about the documentary, if you want to donate any funds to getting me to submit to film festivals, which is our next step, you can go on clairepaparazzo.com. There's a donate button. During this time, it's so awkward to ask for any donations because it is such a unique time. But I have the button up there just in case. Anything would be grateful. And it's been such a pleasure to work and create in this amazing space together. So thank you, everyone.
I wish you could have heard us all clapping for you.
Oh, it would have made me cry a little bit. I'm trying not to get teary-eyed, but you know, this is a moment where I can feel proud about the people that have been involved, and I'm so grateful for all the support. So thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you. Oh, that was my husband. So cute. So I guess at this point we can tell you about what's fun coming up on Virtual Boozy Brunch.
Excellent.
Yes. So next week we have Ruth Ann Gannon. So this is an energy worker, tarot card reader, and yogi. I believe that this is going to be a much needed respite from what's going on in the universe. We have some fun people, hopefully my friend Anna joining us from Croatia talking about essential oils. Samantha, who is a chef from upstate New York, Finger Lakes, who's going to have a much needed healthy interpretation of creating all this together. And what a great theme to kind of end on. Season 2, episode 38. This was Wine If You Want To on Virtual Boozy Brunch. We're sending all of our well wishes to Belinda. We hope you're feeling better soon. And I am so grateful that you gifted me this day. So thank you, Belinda. Thank you.
Amazing, beautiful.
Excellent.
The team of Virtual Boozy Brunch. Fantastic.
It was great.
Job, Claire.
Good job, Claire.
And everyone
for being here.
Good job, Claire.
Thank you so much.
That was right on. So this is the official end of Virtual Boozy Brunch, right on the minute. But of course, we stay around a little bit to after party if you'd like to stay. If not, wishing you all a very, very happy New Year.
Everybody.
Stay
Happy
safe
New Year.
and stay well.
Good health.
Everyone, right? So we can say hi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Francois.
Thank you, Francois.
God bless everyone.
Thank you, Christina.
God bless.
Thank you all the
Unmute.
people.